that actually went like defending.
I think it's like
Mateo Kovacic, Manchester City hold initial talks with Chelsea midfielder over move to the Premier League champions. Chelsea midfielder Mateo Kovacic has 1 year remaining on his contract. Man City have held a long-term interest in the Croatian midfielder. The 29-year-old has started 27 of the 50 matches for the Blues this season. What a signing that would be. I mean, he fits City like a glove, really. You know, very technical player, quite lit people. He's missed 8 games due to injury and illness. I'm sure that they'll have enough depth to deal with that, assuming they keep Gundogan and assuming that this is the only midfielder. I think you're going to see, I won't say major surgery at Chelsea, at City personally, people, but I do think they're going to spend the bag. It's not just going to be a one Grealish or one Haaland or things like that. I do think they'll bring in a centre back or a couple of defensive reinforcements, and they'll potentially do the same in midfield, probably bring in a fullback as well, or someone that's able to play in 2 of the roles. Kovacic's contract is up next summer, and discussions have taken place between City and the players' reps. I mean, it just shows how the clubs, the clubs in the Premier League are starting to deal with each other, really. And to be honest with you, with Chelsea, they need to offload players. No clue what's happening with Kante. Looks like Kovacic and Mason Mount are gone. It looks like Ruben Loftus-Cheek could go AC Milan. The quicker they get players off the books, not that Chelsea need it, the quicker they can focus on the Declan Rices, the Lavias, the Caicedos, etc., etc., etc. The man's a baller. He's been at Inter, been at Real Madrid, won stuff at Chelsea. The man's an absolute baller. Gundogan's out of contract. Calvin Phillips' days could be numbered. Chelsea allegedly need to sell players this summer to trim their squad and comply with FFP after their failure to qualify for Europe. FFP laws are subjective. AC Milan are in talks with Chelsea over signing Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I'm sure he could talk to a couple of his fellow Cobham graduates about how good of a country Italy is to play football. You could talk to Tomori, who's obviously at AC Milan, or speak to Tammy Abraham. Probably won't answer his phone now because Roma, quite rightly so, recently lost the Europa League final. But after that, probably. And it just shows Pochettino's trimming his squad. Apparently, Felix has been told it's a myth. The 27-year-old's been at Chelsea for a while. He's been a good player. A fit Loftus-Cheek could probably be in the England squad, but, needs to probably kick on at 27 now. And apparently he said goodbye as AC Milan are in talks. Could be a great move for the 27-year-old. An agreement on personal terms between Kovacic and City is now really close and almost completed. So we'll have to watch that. Liverpool have discussed the signing of Manu Kone, people. You don't know I'm a big fan of his. If he goes Liverpool as an Arsenal fan, I hope he doesn't excel. Liverpool need to make major surgery in midfield. And if they do get McAllister and Kone on top of everything else they do, is crazy. They've discussed the potential signing of the Gladbach midfielder. So they haven't put down a bid at this moment in time. The 22-year-old joined Gladbach in January of 2021 and has gone on to make 60 appearances for Gladbach. And he's a good player with the world at his feet. He'll command a fee of 35 to 40 million quid. He's contracted until 2025 with the option of another year. Apparently, Gladbach want to use any fee they receive for Kone to help fund moves for new players as they look to build on a 10th place finish. People. Liverpool have also been linked with Thuram of Nice. That's a great signing for them as well. If they get all these guys, they're lit, really. You heard they were in for Mason Mount. It seems that that's gone away. We all know that the pursuit of Jude Bellingham did not work out. Naby Keita, Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, all are set to depart the football club, and a number of other names, really, if I've missed any out, people. But if they do get McAllister, Thuram, and or Kone, or 2 of the 3, all 3, they're laughing. They'll need a bit of time to adapt, but you get the point. Fabrizio Romano has said McAllister to Liverpool will cost way less than the 65 to 70 million, as said yesterday. Fixed amount to sign him from Brighton is not that high. The plan is to complete the deal next week, people. So we'll have to see, really and truly. Apparently, that was a follow-up tweet from where he said, where Liverpool plan for Alexis McAllister deal, complete player side details this week, personal terms almost agreed, then finalize the deal next week. Liverpool are prepared to pay the exit clause. It's less than the reported 70 million if all goes to plan on the player's side. In relation to Mason Mount, you've heard that apparently he's agreed personal terms with Manchester United, and apparently Chelsea and Man United are about 30 million quid apart on the valuations of a player whose contract is also running out in 2024. Man United will accelerate their swoop for Mason Mount following the FA Cup final, of course. Full attentions have to be on that on Saturday, and then they can begin preparations for what they're doing next season. But the club will immediately turn their attentions to executing their summer recruitment plan with a deal for Mason Mount among the priorities. The main hurdle to overcome will be to agree a fee. United value Mount, who has just 12 months left on his deal, at around 55 million. I think that's a fair price for a player with a year left, even though they could point towards Declan Rice and say, boy, what's going on there? While Chelsea's price the England star at closer to 85 million. Crazy money. While there is a significant disparity between the club's valuations, there is a willingness from both parties to negotiate. Importantly, an agreement over personal terms for Mount is unlikely to be an issue, with the England international known to be fully open to a move to Manchester United, or better yet, Old Trafford. Pochettino prefers to keep Mount, but it's looking like a myth, people, really and truly, in that regard. In addition to Mount, United also want a new centre forward. They've been linked with Mane and Højlund in recent hours as well. They've identified Harry Kane as the preferred target, who Real Madrid are allegedly keen on. Apparently, he's turned down a move to Bayern Munich. If they do get Harry Kane, Mason Mount, and address some other areas, then I think Ten Hag's men are cooking, really. Daniel Levy is determined to resist United's advances for Kane because he does not want to sell his star player to a domestic rival. United, however, intend to test Levy's resolve to keep Kane this summer before exploring alternative options. This article has talked about Osman. Kane is open to joining United, but remains to be seen if he's willing to angle for the move, and he has to. He has 12 months left on his deal, so I'm sure in an ideal world he'd win a trophy for Spurs. Don't know if that's going to be the case. If not, you're losing someone that's a record breaker in many ways, someone that got 28, 30 Premier League goals, probably overshadowed because of Haaland. Boy, and an academy prospect. If you're losing him for pennies, crazy money. Again, we've already gone over Mason Mount. We're not going to do that again. Inter Miami have been linked with Lionel Messi. Not sure if you want to play under Philip Neville, but apparently the details have come out around that, people. In relation to that, again, I don't really buy this, so I'm not going to waste your time. Kane has turned down Bayern Munich and will not be moving to Munich, allegedly. After Kane's no to Bayern, Vlahovic is the top target for Bayern Munich, along with Kolo Muani. And apparently Real Madrid are considering what to do to replace Benzema, to go for Kane or rely on Rodrigo. They've also been linked with Havertz as a false nine. It's like they're not watching the Premier League. Saudi Arabia are building a league of superstars. Apparently Luka Modric has told Real Madrid he wants to leave after receiving a lucrative 120 million euros contract offer. I mean, you're not going to be there forever. And at some point, Modric, you're going to have to be replaced by the young stars coming up within Madrid. Couldn't begrudge him for following allegedly Benzema and Ronaldo and all these guys and getting the bag, really. Generational wealth and all. There are some reports that say he wants to stay at Real Madrid, but you'd have to think carefully. Really, it's Luka Modric, really. As I said, with United, they're holding talks over Ramos Højlund, who apparently grew up as a Man United fan and is a very talented striker at Atalanta. Apparently, some reports even say Man United want two strikers, an experienced one and someone of these lot's ilk. Kolo Muani hit 23 goals this season, people, and he seems to be developing. United need a forward, like a proper forward, not someone of the Martial and the Rashford ilk, not to criticize them, that can play all across those positions. Someone that is a number 9 to go with that, really. Goals win games. So we'll have to see how that develops. That primarily came out of the Athletic. Chelsea apparently have rejected a £30 million bid from Brighton to sign Levi Colwill permanently. Chelsea would be crazy to sell him and not integrate him into their plans. And I think Brighton are cheeky, because if anyone if it was the shoe was on the other foot and Colwill came through Brighton's academy, they're saying 60 million, etc. Maybe that's just the first bid. Maybe between Chelsea wanting Caicedo and Brighton wanting Colwill, there's a willingness to do something. I really rate Levi Colwill highly. I think if he plays football continuously this next season like he did this, you could get in the England squad. You should get in the England squad. And I think Chelsea would be crazy to let him go. Aubameyang allegedly is drawing attention from Galatasaray, and Chelsea have joined the race to sign Marco Asensio. Yesterday it was Aston Villa, today it's Paris Saint-Germain on a free transfer. Real Madrid are interested in Kai Havertz allegedly as a false 9. I'm not sure that's the angle to go down. United will offer Harry Maguire 10 million to leave the club this summer in a huge payout. With the Euros next season, he's probably got a cut. And, you've got Varane, you've got Lisandro Martinez. They probably need another centre-back. Lindelof could do a job there as well. Deluded signed a new deal at at Man United. I don't know if they'll bring in another right back. And even though Wan-Bissaka's form has turned around in the second half of the season, I don't know if his days are numbered. So having signed Maguire for 80 million, he's valued at around 30 million, and he's been warned by Gareth Southgate that he must be playing on a regular basis. He has been linked with West Ham, and I'm sure if that goes through, that would be music to a lot of Man United fans. Apparently, Messi to Barcelona is off as PSG star set to reject fairy tale return after a lack of an offer. Boy, apparently there were some reports saying he's given them a couple of days ultimatum. While the Catalan club have been open about their desire to bring him back ever since his departure, their financial troubles have made it difficult, really. With a move back to Barcelona reportedly off the table, Messi has plenty of other options. MLS side Inter Miami have been courting the Argentina hero for some time, and it's reported Barca could even team up with the Florida side to complete a complex transfer, while Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal are also prepared to offer him a huge contract, to date the most lucrative deal for the Argentine, as the Gulf state look to compile a legal superstar. So if you get Messi, already got Ronaldo, get Modric, get Benzema and a couple of others, boy, it's crazy, really and truly. Time will have to tell. Benzema apparently has asked the Real Madrid physio to join him in Saudi Arabia, people. Benzema is believed to have discussed moving to Saudi Arabia with the physio during the past months. As we know, it was reported on Tuesday, Benzema has a big offer from Saudi Arabia, and that Real Madrid have known his decision about the proposal for several days. Boy, we'll have to see. Apparently, Carlo Ancelotti and Benzema held a meeting at the club's training ground, and it was considered unusual and not part of the team's usual training schedule. These sources each told The Athletic they expect Benzema to leave unless the board could change their mind. Real Madrid are understanding of Benzema's situation and will not stand in his way if he were to go, despite the fact he renewed his contract until June 2024 earlier this year. So if they're giving you a couple of years versus a one-year deal at Real Madrid, you're going to get more job security, obviously financial security, because they're going to pay you a lot more. And as you know, Real Madrid, like in football, anywhere, you want to leave before the club make you leave. Real Madrid isn't a team where too many players leave. You know, you're kind of forced out for a variety of reasons. And as much as Benzema's been there since a young man at 35 years of age, what, didn't he go there like 20 years of age, maybe less? Time is coming, really and truly. They're going to need to address that, just like I just alluded to with Luka Modric and Toni Kroos. We'll have to see exactly how that develops, people. Telemans has issued a farewell post on Instagram. Obviously, he'll be a free agent, and he's been linked with a number of clubs. Newcastle are moving to upgrade Bruno Guimaraes' new deal. He's been linked with Real Madrid and Liverpool, and they're going to have to tie him down after having a great season and being a player that should be in high demand. And he's been linked with Barcelona, Real Madrid, and actually Liverpool, people. So we'll have to watch that quietly. Arteta has intervened to stop Granit Xhaka's deal to buy Leverkusen. He's set to delay the sale of Xhaka this summer. The veteran Swiss midfielder is expected to sign for Leverkusen, having already posted a goodbye to Gunners fans on social media. However, reports from Germany, specifically Kicker, say Arteta intends to stall the sale until he has a replacement signed. Arsenal are willing to sell Xhaka for 10 to 15 million euros, but any deal will be dependent on a replacement being found. Xhaka has a year left on his deal, people. So we'll have to monitor these things closely. As I said, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're commenting your thoughts on McAllister, on Kone, on Xhaka, on Mount, on any of the things we've discussed, really and truly. Make sure you're turning on your notifications and checking out the other videos. Make sure you and your loved ones are staying safe. Appreciative of you lot tuned in. Hope you lot are having a great week and you're in good health. Thank you for tuning in once again. Smash the like button once again. Make sure you're following on Twitch and offering your opinions. Check out the other vids. But for now, I'm out.
There's always just that active red light, defending.
I think it's like